Is what do you wonder about the food you're eating? We have all these scares that people get sick, they get all these diseases. But how about when you don't have enough of it? You might want to know, and that's why so many people have gone back to buying food the old-fashioned way from local folks they can trust. This is a fascinating story that our Laurie Johnson found in what's going on, I believe, in the state capital of Virginia, Richmond. Here's Laurie.
Early in the morning, Mark Lilly drives his farmer's market on wheels from Richmond, Virginia to the countryside. He stops at a number of family farms to pick up the food he'll sell a little later when he returns to the city. And talk about fresh. These melons were on the vine at sunrise and will be on someone's dinner table at sunset.
Most times it's not sprayed with heavy chemicals, and it's very low intensive farming. It's not industrialized farming, and there's not a whole lot of pesticides or herbicides. The soil, more than likely, these smaller farms are rotating their crops. The soil has more nutrients in it, and they're throwing organic matter back into the soil.
Local produce is also healthy because it's picked ripe when vitamins are at their peak. On the other hand, produce that's shipped long distances is picked early and often sprayed with chemical ripeners.
So they put all kinds of preservatives and additives on the food. I mean, I've even heard of them like spray painting the food to give it color.
Mark also goes local for dairy, livestock, and poultry. This is also good for the environment because it takes less fuel to transport the food from farm to market. The farthest Mark travels is 150 miles to an Amish farmer in the Shenandoah Valley for pure maple syrup and organic whole grain bread. Then, after he collects the food from rural areas, he heads back to the city, the inner city. This roving farmers market makes its stops in so-called food deserts, urban areas where thousands of people without transportation live more than a mile from a grocery store. Here, folks have little choice but to buy whatever unhealthy processed food is available at a convenience store next to the cigarettes and lottery tickets.
Y'all need some fresh vegetables?
Yes.
Got a whole bus full of stuff right here.
I think it's a blessing for certain people, for basically everybody, because everybody don't have a ride to go out, and I think that since it's growing, it's more healthy.
Mark teaches his customers about what he sells and what he doesn't.
I've had a lot of people ask me for bananas and pineapples and oranges and all different types of stuff. It just doesn't even grow in Virginia, much less like in season, you know. So there's a whole education process that people have to adopt.
And he teaches them how to cook foods they don't normally put on their table.
You put it in the oven for about 45 minutes on about 350, 375.
He accepts food stamps and is so passionate about distributing healthy food, he sometimes just gives it away.
Y'all share that, right?
He's even gotten the attention of city leaders.
I think it's a marvelous idea. It really helps to educate the population, give them an opportunity to have access to really fresh fruits and vegetables that they might not normally be able to get to in some of the better end city markets.
Visiting retirement homes is also a priority because seniors especially need a healthy diet.
I think it's a beautiful thing because you got some people in here that are diabetics and so forth and so on, and they can come out and get fresh vegetables. And it's organic, which is fantastic.
It's hard for some of us to get to the stores. And if we do get to the store, we got to catch the bus, 2 buses, and we got to catch 2 buses back. So I think this is really wonderful.
Betty, yours is $3.
Mark's been doing this for 4 years. He got the idea many years ago, but needed the proper motivation to begin.
I was fortunate, I got fired from my job. That was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Mark had a big dream to take healthy food to people who don't normally get it, but he had a small budget. So he bought this old church bus for $3,600 off Craigslist and made these shelves with scrap wood. Within a month, he was on the road and has made enough money to support his family. He hopes more people will hop on the local food bandwagon because he says America's current food system is unsustainable.
Instead of waiting for something to completely fall apart and collapse, we can actually try to change it before that happens.
Mark says he's never worked this hard, but has never been happier knowing his customers don't have to worry about where their food comes from. Lori Johnson, CBN News, Richmond, Virginia.